Hey guys, thanks for clicking on another episode of Popping for Beginners. Today we're looking at Firebac versus Angyil. So, if you're not familiar with Angyil yet, she's a popper from America. She's very, very well known in America. I think not quite as much overseas, but she's starting to build a reputation overseas. Like as we can see here, she's battling in Japan. I imagine she would have been a guest battler for this event because she's very, very high level. She has a very, very unique style to her popping, and it's not conventional. It's very unique to her, and also she has a very strong style, and her style tends to come through no matter what music is playing. Yeah. So let's get started. She's going to contrast a lot with Firebac because Angyil has a fairly loose, and I would call it like messy in a good way. I really, really like her style. She's not too sharp. She tends to be very like big and like powerful in her movements. You can see that she's not like dime stopping much at all. She's intentionally her head isolation is crazy though. You can see just there that move that she did where she comes down, head isolation, boom, 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 boom. That was almost like the start of a full body roll, but just with the head. Again, that movement there that she just did, if Firebac did the same move, which I suspect he might, right here. If Firebac did that, it would be incredibly isolated. His body wouldn't be moving at all, but Angyil is a different character to Firebac, right? She has, and she does bone breaking as well. If you've never seen that move before or that style, where she pulls her arm back and over her head, is called bone breaking or flexing. Two different styles, but they incorporate shared movements. We'll come back to Angyil, so we'll jump on the Firebac now, and you'll notice, just like we were talking about in our Firebac vs JG video, Firebac focuses almost entirely on what's called muscle control. So he is extremely good at isolating individual muscles in his body and separating them for effect, right? So when you notice his waves are extremely isolated when he waves, one body part moves at a time. Just then, there. He just did almost exactly the same head move that Angyil did earlier, but his entire body was completely frozen right here. Notice that? His head and his body were two completely separate pieces. Whereas when Angyil did it, she had like her whole power came through her whole body, right? This one should be interesting too because this is like more of a funky boogaloo track, and Angyil has strong boogaloo, but it's not as much of her preference. But as you can see, she's starting off with Fresno variations, Toyman, and straight into tutting. Now, I really, really like her Toyman here. This is like almost what I consider like perfect Toyman. Boom, 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 boom. Here, her tutting's not, it's probably intentional. She's not doing 90-degree angles. If you're first learning tutting, your teacher will probably encourage you to focus on 90-degree angles while you're practicing. Lots of high-level dancers do other angles, 45 degrees and stuff, so if you see that, that's that was a nice little variation on the old man. An old man is a foundational move that you'll probably also learn from your teacher. Here, boom, 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 boom. She didn't use her upper body, she kept it in her feet, which is really interesting. That's sort of what Angyil is about. She has strong foundation, but she chooses to do moves in her own specific way. Like most poppers there would have done a traditional scarecrow move, but she sort of did her own variation right here. Boom, boom. Just sort of cool and collected, nice waving. Again, not as isolated as Firebac, but that's not what she's going for. Nice tutting into some nice rolls. Super solid rounds. So now we're back into Firebac, and you'll notice straight away Firebac's waving is much cleaner, much more isolated. That's what he's going for. His clothing is also really well suited for the style that he's doing, where it's loose and it's sharp but flowy. Just there, that was like a bit of a, it was waving, but it was a bit of a variation on a cobra, but vertical here, up and down and up and down. And you notice he had some nice little isolation in his feet as well. If you look down at his feet, wiggle, 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 wiggle. So now Firebac's doing much more boogaloo in this round, which isn't necessarily his strength, but he is strong in it. Isolation. He has really good what's called crumping. There's a move in popping called crumping, which is basically shoulder and neck groove and isolation, which lets you get a bigger effect from what would otherwise be like fairly small, minute movements. And this round we've got just a straight funk track, so we'll see how Angyil tackles it. Now she's coming in with dime stops and hard hits. A bit more tutting. Oh, nice gliding there. Watching her feet. Boop, 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 boop. That was almost like a sea walking move, like a crip walking move. Coming in with some strutting. See, you can see that her boogaloo is not, she doesn't specialize in it as much as Firebac does. But she's still obviously at a super high level. She's not hitting as hard now. I think she's sort of trying to be smooth and just sort of feel the music out. But she sort of dropped off energy a little bit towards the end there. Firebac's coming in with a really nice groove immediately. Not big groove, but just subtle and isolated groove. That's like a trademark move for like a Popinjay and Ho-On, but they kind of do it a little bit better. It's like their signature move. Great beat kill. Firebac's extremely good at isolating his feet from the rest of his body to create the illusion of more movement. Fun little groove. Super, super isolated wave down his back. I've heard that be called a tidal wave before, when you wave from the base of your neck down your spine. Here. I'm not sure if that's just like a colloquial name or what. And it might be tough to see in this video, but his hits are really, really sharp and really subtle. It's more like snapping than full-on hitting. Cool. That was Firebac versus Angyil. Drop me a comment if you have any ideas for who you want to look at next, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.